Hi, Terry here. I'd like to talk to you this morning about a developmental concept called differentiation. I'd like to talk about it because it's something that I've been practicing and working with myself these past weeks. Differentiation means basically what it sounds. You differentiate yourself from, or you separate yourself emotionally from, or intellectually. It's taking a step back, being able to see from an independent observer position. I worked with that for years when I was doing a lot of counseling. It was very important that I empathize, that I connect, that I feel what the person is feeling, but always remembering also or practicing the discipline of differentiation, to not completely lose myself in the story, to empathize but yet remain separate, someone who can speak into it, someone who can bring some calm or some hope into it rather than losing myself into it. I think I'm working on the differentiation right now for a few reasons. One is to differentiate myself from so much of the news with the current pandemic going on. Hearing it and hearing the emotions and the different sides to it, some raging about conspiracies, others, very fearful of the disease, catching it or passing it on. And to be able to empathize with people, to connect with them, to feel some of what they're feeling, trying to get inside their skin a little bit, but yet staying differentiated, staying separated. And then there's just the mundane. This morning, my wife and I went grocery shopping, and the person who was checking us out from the grocery store was, the term we used was surly. She was very surly. And it was a temptation to be connected to that, to lose myself in that surliness and to get surly myself. And it was difficult to step back and remember that she's in a tough position. Maybe she's just having a bad day, or maybe I did something to offend her or somebody before, who knows what it is. But being able to empathize with her and stay separate. Don't have it trigger things in me too quickly. Or this past week, I had a phone conversation with what one author called an irregular person. Now, that an irregular person just is very personal kind of thing that many people get along with, most people get along with somebody else, but with you, it's just irregular. That person triggers all kinds of emotions or feelings or anger or whatever it is. And talked with a person, one of my irregular people, and how easy it was to get caught up in all kinds of internal dialogue and getting angry or frustrated rather than seeking to empathize but yet differentiate. It's like a pause between the stimulus and the response. So I've just had a series of things going on that remind me how important it is to be both connected with people, to empathize, and yet to be able to stay at least somewhat apart from, differentiated from. One of the people I follow regularly is Richard Rohr, and he works in an organization called Center for Action and Contemplation. And one of their themes is it's very important to be engaged, to be active with people, with events, with things going on in the world, but also to maintain that contemplation, sitting quietly, getting in touch with what's on the inside, developing or making space for compassion and love and understanding and forgiveness and that quiet spot within. But if all we do is separate ourselves, pull back, which would be very easy when you're separated from people most of the time, to become very self-centered. No, connect, be engaged, work with or seek to understand, seek to feel what they're feeling, walk in their moccasins, if you will, but at the same time remain differentiated. So I wonder how you're doing. Maybe in this time of special stress, or for some people, waves of stress that come their way, or overwhelming feelings or events. How do you find that both connection with people, empathy, care, love, listening, but yet not having it get inside you somehow and inject all kinds of stress and all kinds of ramping up so that maybe you take on the same nature or the same despair or anger or rage? How do you do that? And for me, it means sitting every day. It means after a conversation or an interaction where something gets triggered, again, remembering to breathe, pay attention to the breath going in and out, sitting, being able to, again, differentiate. It's not explaining away, it's not excusing exactly, it's simply saying, that's where that person is, or that's where the world events are going, but I operate from a different place. So I hope you're doing okay with that, and maybe you can join me in seeking to keep that differentiated place without building barriers. Not an easy thing, but oh, the power and the wonder of it. Have a great day.